right, welcome to the show. Unfortunately, this first little segment that we have for you guys is regarding a few deaths that happened in the past 2 weeks. I want to talk about Thea White, who was the voice actress for Muriel in Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was a show that I grew up with, that Squirrel grew up with, and she was just all around a very wholesome lady and kind of, related to the things that we talk about on the show. One of the first exposures to aliens, cryptids, stuff like that was actually in the show Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? So, it really kind of hit home when I started to research who Thea White was and how, wholesome of a person she was. And it was, it was kind of sad to see such a nice person and voice actress go this past couple weeks. And especially someone who was really connected to the fan base and stuff like that. Even in her old age, she was 81, I believe, when she passed away. And just sad to see her go, man. Especially Courage. I mean, you don't get that anymore. That was like a mixture of horror, comedy, and sci-fi all in one for kids. You just don't see that kind of show. But
and then that's the thing is it wasn't Freddy, Jason,
right,
horror type stuff. It was mild. Watered down for children, kind of.
Yeah, it was almost psychological too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it was a neat show, and we're sad to see her go, man.
Yeah.
Hoping she reincarnates to an alien or some shit, right? All right, Matt, you had a death you kind of wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just wanted to mention. So recently, Gilbert Levin, who was 97, he died at 97 this year. He just recently passed away. I want to say within the past 2 weeks, recent 2 weeks, he had passed away. Now, for those who don't know who Gilbert Levin was, he was a scientist who had sought out the possibility of life on Mars. He had sought out to detect the possibility of life on Mars, in which it did an experiment which resulted in a success. Now, I'm not going to go into the experiment or what it was about and stuff. We may do an episode later about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's how do I put this? The experiment goes heavily into talking about carbon dioxide and compounds and soil, and it covers a lot.
Yeah, it's something we need some more time before we can wrap our heads around it, right?
Also, yeah, I need to kind of study it a bit to sort of understand and look into that stuff a bit.
Yeah, it's a little heady.
Yeah. Very much so. Very much so.
But he was a staunch believer. He totally believed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Him and I want to say a good number of people were convinced that he had actually found life on Mars. And now he had done this back in the 1970s as well.
Yeah, and when we talk about life, what are we talking about exactly? Not like dogs and cats. We're talking about microorganisms, right?
Yeah, I think it was microorganisms. They were basically what it is his experiment definitely showed that there was life that could have been on Mars at one point. And I believe one way of also looking at it is, like I said, this is why I don't want to get too much into it because it's a big topic and it's different points of view.
Yeah, so basically all we kind of want to say is that there was an experiment that he did. He was really famous for it, and sad to see him go. Yeah, he was.
But no, I would definitely, for those of you out there who want to know more about him, Gilbert Levin, check him out.
Yeah, we'll have links.
Gilbert V. Levin. He was an engineer and inventor.
Right.
But I believe that's about it. So what's next with you? You got anyone else you wanted to drop down or?
Yeah, what's new with me? I'll tell you what's new. I just bought a bidet.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's like a self-installed bidet.
Nice.
Dude, me and my wife went to Japan and there's bidets everywhere and they were heated and they were awesome. And I never thought I would
bidets everywhere in Japan, just everywhere.
Everywhere. Every toilet.
Oh, hey. Walking down the street, hey, look a bidet.
No, on the toilets. But
on the toilets. There are bidets and then there are bidets on toilets.
No, they're dude. You're goofy. Yeah, no, so
There's
all the toilets are like super high tech. They have like control panels and like you can just like there's like heated water and like heated seats and stuff. It was awesome. And like ever since then, I was like I need to get one of these.
Get a little spritz
Yeah.
action going.
Dude, I my family has has I'll just say butt problems run in my family, and a bidet, this is gonna be life changing. TMI.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for real, I wanted to talk about one of the 2018 UAP sightings. Right. So there was a sighting from 2018. Some people call it the box UFO.
Looks like a bell.
Yeah, Matt calls it the bell because it looks more like a bell. I have it on screen right here, somewhere right there. So recently it was debunked by a few people in the, I guess, in the weather. This is kind of a cliche now when people call it like a weather balloon, but it was
Looks nothing like a weather balloon.
right, because it wasn't a weather balloon exactly. It was what was called a Doppler device, and it was
Looks nothing like a Doppler device either.
Well, here we go. I got the pictures. So it looked that bell shape was allegedly just a like parachute type thing. I've got the pictures up there. Most people will now
It was a parachute that was upside down.
well no,
That
it was
doesn't
like
seem like it would work.
no, it was. Did you see the picture that I sent?
The picture it looks like an upside down bell.
Mm.
So like
No, the picture of the
bell,
Doppler device.
like-
It was like so the parachute thing that they were using is like an upside down pyramid, right? And the air goes through it, and it has like the I don't know anything about aeronautics, so I don't know how this parachute
artist
works.
rendition of it.
Artist rendition, but yeah,
Artist rendition. It looks like a bell.
it does look like a bell. I
Yeah,
concede
and-
100%.
And even in the picture, it looks like a bell.
I completely agree.
The Doppler is supposed to be like this, isn't it? Hold up.
The Doppler. I have the picture. We're both looking at the picture now.
Yeah, see, the Doppler, I think, is supposed to be like this.
Yeah, but it's so far away. Whether or not what it is.
Bell, Doppler, Bell, Doppler.
Sure. I'll just say most people are saying now that it was kind of debunked, right? In any case, I just want to talk about debunking or the debunking of certain UFOs and UAPs and the positive effects that could have on the movement, right? It's important that we debunk things that can be debunked, right? So let's say this thing is a Doppler device. If we spend all of our time defending something that's just not a UFO or something that just can be debunked, we're wasting time and energy that we could put into other things that that are
UFOs.
Yeah, that could be real or whatever, right? And then also, look, so I'm pretty skeptical when it comes to just about anything. I'm fairly agnostic at most subjects in life, and the bias is like I would want UFOs to be real, right? But we can't let our biases get in the way of like logic and like
Well, I would say it's more logical that UFOs are real.
Sure, but what I'm saying is like if there is evidence that this was just a Doppler device, that we should embrace that just as much as we embrace something that
Well, yeah, like
looks
if it
like
really was a
right.
Doppler, then okay.
Right. Yeah, we shouldn't we shouldn't, we don't want to fight a losing war. But there are UFOs out there that are very much unidentified and very much different and strange. Let's put our energy into that. So that's all I kind of wanted to say, is that I think it's healthy to debunk some of these sightings, and it's fine. It doesn't kill the UFO community if a few of these sightings are wrong. I mean, most UFO sightings, I'm sure, are wrong.
What's
but
like what? I think they said 70% of UFO sightings are
Yeah, I heard a statistic one time that was like 70% of things seen in the sky that are claimed to be UFO. Now, I tried to find this statistic, but I don't know where I heard it or saw it, so I might just be pulling stuff out of my butt.
Yeah.
But most things that we see in the sky probably aren't UFOs. But that small majority that are is really interesting.
30%.
Yeah, right. I don't know, but that's all I kind of wanted to talk about when it came to the 2018 box UFO. Now, I kind of want to move into a UFO that has a little bit more, that's a little bit more contentious in whether it's real or fake. And something that I kind of like am very interested in is in the Tic Tac UFO. Have you you've seen the Tic Tac footage, Matt?
Yeah, I kept calling it TikTok by accident.
The TikTok. I think last week we were talking about the TikTok cult, and it just like got stuck in our head.
Keeps registering as TikTok instead of Tic Tac.
Oh my god. Any
I
thoughts?
just picture like a giant orange Tic Tac.
Well, it looks like a white Tic Tac from what I was seeing.
Yeah,
but...
it does.
Or black when they do the infrared thing or whatever when it flips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
the footage I think was captured in black and gray. I don't know what it's specifically called. I'd have to look into it more. But it's the recording software. No. Actually, no. I think wasn't it taken by a picture with his cell phone?
No. It was the recording was it came out of like some sort of
the flight software then.
The
plane.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Okay, so it did. So it did have that gray and black footage. Mm-hmm. I'm still thinking of that box one.
Yeah, the box one was taken from the guy's phone. The bell.
Taken from the phone.
Yeah, but the Tic Tac was taken from the actual radar system itself. And the guy, okay, so Jeremy Corbell is a guy that if you're into UFOs, you should be following. He's super interesting. He's the one who kind of like brought Bob Lazar's story into the mainstream. Whether you believe, huh?
The Corbell.
Yeah, the Corbell.
The Corbell.
But yeah, whether you believe in Bob Lazar or not, whether it's
whether you believe in Bob Lazar,
or believe in his story,
whether you believe Bob Lazar's story or not.
Oh my God! Wait,
you can't not believe in Bob Lazar. He's a real person.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's a cryptid. Bob Lazar is a cryptid? Question mark.
Oh, what if he's like this? Like Jared.
Jared? Wait, like
Subway.
Jared Fogle?
No. Like get it a Subway. He's just like a figurehead used to
push
distraction.
Well, Jared was using the Subway sandwich to distract the fact that he was children.
Oh my goodness!
You didn't know that?
I had heard something about that.
Oh my God, it's awful. Jared was a terrible person. Let's hope Bob Lazar is nothing like Jared Fogle.
Was his real name Jared Fogle?
Yeah, Jared Fogle.
I did not know that.
Yeah, dude, his story is insane. We will not cover his story on this show.
He has nothing to do with aliens.
No. The only thing he has to do.
I'm not that big a fan of like talking about Subway.
No, the only thing he has to do with cryptids is that he's probably the closest thing to the devil we have on Earth. But yeah,
the only thing I will say about Subway is the meatball sub.
Dude, I like the fake tuna.
The fake tuna?
Did you hear about? Oh my God, we're gonna get into this. Poor Jeremy Corbell. I wanted to talk about the interview he just had with the guy who actually operated the radar system with the pilot, and I think it was like 2 weeks ago or whatever. He had an interview with that guy, and it was super interesting. I have the links below if you want to check it out. Super awesome, super interesting. You know, if you're really into UAPs, UFOs, check it out. Super cool interview.
If you're into the truth, check it out.
Yeah, and if you're also into the truth, apparently the Subway tuna isn't real. So we'll get out. You know what? Next episode, I'll talk about the Subway tuna. We have to move on. We can't.
Yeah, well, I find all that interesting, but I do have to say this: the Tic Tac, okay, it's a UFO. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real one.
Sure, allegedly.
What kind is it though?
What do you mean?
Like, what could it be? Could it be like a scout ship, or like a small monitoring ship or station, like the Bell? Okay, well the box. Like I said, call it the Bell.
Sure, the Bell
looks like an upside down bell or temple. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what if that was like a space station, like an observation post?
I got you. We're going straight head cannon, right? Like
you can say it's a weather balloon all you like, or a what was it? A
Doppler device.
A Doppler device.
Right.
Yeah. No. It could have been a monitoring station, like they're.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break on that note, and then
When we come
afterwards,
back, we're going to talk about Martian refugees.
yeah, I'm just gonna add question mark at the end of that because. All right. Well, we'll be right back.
And we're back, y'all. So okay, so it's been a few seconds for y'all with the bumper, but for us, it's actually been a good hour. We took a break.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Goofing off.
Yeah, time isn't real.
It's a perceptional thing, man. Time is always perceptional. See, it's ever flowing, but does it truly exist?
Nope.
Can we are we just monitoring it, or is it just happening all around us?
Yeah, time's all perception. In the great words of Matt Smith,
Hello?
time isn't real. Okay, so I just want to say first off that all of this that we're about to go into is alleged, and I personally don't believe it, but it's okay.
Alleged to you.
Alleged to me, but it's okay. I like talking about this stuff. Zohar Stargate is where we kind of got this information from. He does some pretty cool videos on YouTube.
I don't think it's an actual person.
Our group, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a really cool channel that.
Yeah, I like watching them. They have some pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, like
They do shows on episodes about.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And then, so you kind of like watched this one episode and then did some research on Martian refugees. Is that correct?
So starting off with it, so the Zohar Stargate guys, check it out. It's a great channel. The video that I recently watched, it was called Martian Refugees from 60,000 years ago. And it's basically, they talk about how these extraterrestrials are these Martians, these people that were living on Mars. And that 60,000 years ago, something happened to Mars, like the cataclysm or something happened to where the planet was left, kind of beaten down.
Some sort of disaster.
Disastrous. So they need somewhere else to live. So then they just hopped on the ship or the lifeboat, the Ark,
right?
If you could call it that, and shammied them way over from Mars to Earth. Space built on the Black Sea, man.
And that kind of like it's interesting. So that kind of like ties into some of like Anunnaki mythology, like it comes from our own namesake, right? The Anunnaki.
Because the thing is the Anunnaki, when they first came, they had a workforce,
right,
called the Agigi, and the individuals that did the video that I watched, they were talking about how they could be referencing to the Agigi and how they were on Mars and they got fed up with their working conditions, mining all the gold and stuff, or just working in the mines, and they're like, you know what, we're tired of doing it. We're gonna revolt.
Did they revolt and then what you call like the leaders exited, or did the exodus, or was it the people that in the story, right? Who
supposedly in the Anunnaki mythos, or
the mythology.
But the mythology, the story goes is like the Agigi revolted, and I believe it was Enlil, or one of the two brothers,
right,
that had decided, you know what, like he's like, hey, wait, let's talk about this before y'all start revolting. Everything gets out of whack. I can make another workforce. That way you don't have to do the work anymore, all the work anymore. We'll make the primitive species, the native species of this planet, we'll turn them into the workforce. Ergo, humans.
Right.
Or what they were at the time. Could have been who knows what,
Right. Whatever sort of Paleolithic creatures
at the erectus,
right.
Whatever, like Neanderthal.
Whatever we were at the time, or whatever Denisovians, whatever. When it comes to that theory, whatever we were at the time. So it's like ties into the Prometheus theory, which ties into the Anunnaki theory that Anunnaki came here, started messing with our DNA, and that's why we're smart.
That reminds me. Did you see the thing about, I believe it's the Dragon Ape Man?
No.
We'll have to do some research on that.
Wait,
And
I'm
talk
writing
about
this
it
down.
a bit
Dragon
later.
Ape
Dragon
Man.
Ape Man. And it was I believe it's supposed to be like a newly discovered, not newly discovered, but this was like maybe a few months back. I had read an article about it, and it at the time was a newly discovered subspecies of human called the Dragon Ape Man, and it was found in China. And what it was, I think he was like bulkier than your average Homo sapien or Homo erectus or whatever, and that he had a bigger brain, like he had a bigger cranial, so that way he could fit. He had a bigger brain in his skull, so that way
Sure.
he was more intelligent.
Dragon Ape
He was
Man.
not a
That
dragon
sounds.
ape.
Dragon Ape Man sounds like you're describing Dragon Ball.
Buster Kill was a dragon ape.
Buster. You read Buster Keel?
Oh, son, you read
Dude.
Buster?
Dude, that manga.
I never met anyone else who had read Buster Kill.
I had no idea you read Buster Keel. Dude, that manga
did.
was like so underground. Like I never
It
met anyone
was.
else.
I was so sad that it was never like continued.
No,
It
yeah.
just
It just stops. Yeah.
It just stopped. And I was like, it was a really good one. I loved it.
I loved Buster
was really
Keel.
awesome.
Holy shit. I didn't know you
He was a dragon ape.
He was pretty cool. It was very like in the art style of like fairy tale and stuff like that. But it wasn't written by the fairy tale guy.
But I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, Buster Keel was pretty cool, man. I loved it because I was really into before fairy tale. There was a manga called Rave Master. I grew up with Rave Master, so like I know Plu, the little plush dog right there. I know Plu from Rave Master because I grew up with that cartoon. So like Buster Keel just reminds me of like old, like Rave Master mixed with fairy tale.
But yeah, so he was just one of the guys who worked on a fairy tale as well. With
Okay, so he wasn't the guy who made fairy tale. He just worked on it.
no, he just worked on it. I want to say he did the apparently he did the fairy tale Happy's Adventures books. I've never read those. But...
Happy's Adventure. That sounds like fun.
I think it's probably just following Happy on his mini adventures.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's cool.
Flying
No,
cat.
I can't believe we've totally changed into a manga podcast now. No, but that's pretty cool, man. What the heck? Actually, speaking of like people who write mangas, I'm gonna link in the descriptions on this really great documentary about the life, like kind of like the dark side of being a manga writer in Japan. It's super interesting. Did not expect that this topic would come up on the show, but I'm kind of glad it did because this is a really interesting topic. But links in the description.
Like, you can get a copy of them. You can go onto like Goodreads.com or whatever and type it in, and it'd be like, oh, Amazon. You can get a copy from Amazon, or you can check like Barnes and Nobles maybe and stuff.
For sure.
But I digress. Let's get back to the main topic at hand.
Back to Mars.
Martian Refugees, man. I highly recommend checking out the video. It's very interesting. They talk about stuff about and I know I've talked with you about this before, but you yourself are not a big
believer
life on Mars person.
No, I mean, I hope that there's some sort of like I hope that all this is real. I'm just very skeptical, like I said, about like everything. So more agnostic when it comes to just about most things. So yeah,
Martian life.
I hope. I mean, I don't look. The fact of the matter is there is life outside of our planet. There's just no way that there's not. If it's on Mars, I don't know. But if there's anything I do believe, yeah. But if there's
from Mars,
right. But if there's anything I do believe that without a shadow of a doubt, and like this might be like blind faith, whatever you want to call it, there's life somewhere out there in the universe. There's no way that we're the only
life out there in the universe.
Yeah. Whether it's on Mars, I don't know. I hope so. That'd be cool. But yeah, there's definitely life out there. There's 100%. There's no possible way that there's not. It's just
it's very small thinking to believe that we're the only thing here.
It's incredible. It's incredibly small.
With how massive the universe. Yeah. And they say it's always expanding, always moving outwards, creating new galaxies and stuff. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When we actually get out there into the universe, we will be surprised. I'm pretty sure we will be surprised because here's what's gonna happen. You ever played Mass Effect?
Let's go. Go right
Big
into
Mass
it.
Effect person. So how Mass Effect, some of the parts in the game talk about some of the characters. Like one of the companions in the first game, Caden Alenko. If you talk to him, he's talking about how he had joined up with the military so that way he could see space, conquer the frontier. But the thing is that when humans had got into space, it was already there. It was already conquered. They already had people settling it. There's probably already a galactic council or a universe, like a galaxy. Yeah, galactic council. There's probably already a galactic council sitting somewhere in like the core of our universe. Because the thing is we're not even near the core. We're like on the outer reaches.
Well, why would it be? Why would it be in the core? Like more energy or something?
Well, no, closer to the center.
Why would there be more life closer to the center? Just curious.
I would think just like from the center, you have an easier point getting to other areas. You can
I guess that's true. Well, what's the likelihood? Well, what's the likelihood of having two planets like ours? Like Mars is almost habitable, right? Like,
well, here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? What's the likelihood of two planets being so close together that they're like, traveling across?
Well, very likely.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's the thing. It's the universe is massive.
That's what I'm saying. There's a few things that are stopping Mars from being habitable and inhabited. So what's the difference? Like having another two planets like Earth side by side, Yeah,
that's what I was getting to. The whole thing is that we can't make active changes to planets currently.
Right.
We don't possess the level of technology. But when we get out there into the stars, at that point, we should have the technology available to terraform. Here's the thing. If you are a advanced civilization that travels the stars, you should be able to, terraform planets.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what planets you colonize.
Sure.
Because the thing is you can conform it to make sure it suits you. Like Mars, okay? If we had the technology to move Mars, we could effectively move it closer to the Earth to where it's also near the sun, more hospitable.
Yeah, what you're describing is like the only thing keeping that from happening is a knowledge gap, like having the knowledge for that technology. I think a great thinker in this kind of like space, Sam Harris said it like one of the best ways is that like anything is possible. It's just like takes the knowledge to make it happen, right? So like I don't think it's impossible that if we had knowledge to transform or
nothing is impossible. Everything is permitted.
Is that you're saying?
No.
Oh, I was about to like. If it was, I was just gonna have like your face in black and white with the little.
I forgot what. I think I got it from like a Star Wars episode as a kid.
Oh my god! Well,
how,
that's
like, at the beginning of each Star Wars Clone Wars episode, they do like a saying.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it was one of those sayings, man. It resonated so much.
All right, well, we're commandeering it now. It's Squirrel. Here we go, right there.
Yeah. Everything is possible. Nothing is permitted.
Wait, you just reversed it.
No, I just said it a little bit differently. Like instead of saying anything is possible, I said everything is possible. So I believe that's all we have for now. We'll definitely continue in another episode.
For sure. Are you or someone you know interested in coming on the show? Email us at theanunnakiboys@gmail.com. You have a news article or report that we need to see? Email us or send us a DM. As of this recording, DMs are open on the Twitter. We'd love to hear back from you. If you like this show, consider buying us a coffee. Links in the description. Everything we talked about today has a link in the description. What?
I'm just putting it out there. I like tea.
Okay, buy him a tea. Buy me a coffee. This has been the Anunnaki Boys.
That's dirty water.
You got anything else to say?
Nah, I think that's it.
All right.
See y'all next time. Get off my ship.
Kick him off the ship. Bye, guys.
Shake, shake.